So welcome everybody. This is going to be the first in a series of videos covering our transatlantic cruise. This is going to cover our travel day
from London Gatwick all the way to Barbados.
Our flight was due to leave early Friday morning. So my dad drove us from kind of southwest to Gatwick on Thursday night through the pouring rain. And thank you, Dad. I know that was a massive pain in the ass to get you home. Much appreciated, as already said. We'll start first, quick look at the Block Hotel in Gatwick. So first thing about the Block Hotel to note is the entrance is actually in the south terminal of Gatwick. That means when Google Maps tells you how to get there, do not believe it, because it tells you to go through some roads that you can't go unless you work for Gatwick, as shown here. You need to go to the terminal drop-off or the car parks or get a train or taxi or whatever. They'll get you there nice and easy. Once you enter into the departures hall, head off towards arrivals, then there's a lift to use on the left. We were able to take our bags up because it's in the terminal on the trolley, so you can park the trolley in your room. Wasn't a lot of room once you did that. It was quite small, but did the job. Bathroom was a wet room, so you can poop and shower at the same time if you're into that sort of thing. We're up early next morning. Hotel's in the terminal, as I say, so it's very easy to get to the departures and the check-in desks. There was a bit of a queue, but we checked in all fine for the flight. They didn't actually take any information about the cruise itself because it's a charter situation and it's specifically for the Maleth Aero flight. They know where you're going, what you're doing anyway. They did also tell us the bags are going to be taken straight from the plane to the ship, and next time we'd see them would actually be outside the cabin, which is nice. We did have to pick up some American money because some idiot saw the money and then forgot to pack it. We got shafted on the rate, so don't forget your travel money, kids. Make sure you get it before there. And we couldn't get into any of the lounges, so Wetherspoon's breakfast it was. Can't beat a Wetherspoon's breakfast, really, can you? Got on the flight with no real issues, other than my wife's tiny bladder. But we were delayed once we got on for about 45 minutes, because too many flights were leaving Gatwick at the same time, so it's great planning from Gatwick. Now, did mention we're on Maleth Aero. They've received some absolutely shocking reviews from previous P&O passengers for lack of entertainment, bad food, massive delays, all sorts of problems. So we were a bit worried in the lead up, especially as earlier in the week P&O had confirmed that Maleth wouldn't be operating any more flights from after that weekend, which... However, other than the delay, all went pretty smoothly. Lack of entertainment wasn't too bad. I downloaded some podcasts, YouTube videos, and some other stuff on my phone. Dinner and afternoon snacks were pretty good. Definitely not the worst plain food we've ever had. Bit of chicken, and then a curried sausage roll thing for a snack, which was rather pleasant. Once we landed in Barbados, though, we got off the plane. All the people had just finished their cruises, so they were getting on the other planes, and then they popped us straight onto a minibus. No customs, nothing, just down the steps onto a bus. Nice and simple. I will say, though, during the half hour or so bus ride, we were listening to a man behind us complaining that he wasn't on a flight the day before, and this, that, and the other. Turns out he was the lead singer of the Hollies, Peter Howarth. He was supposed to be performing that night, and because of the flight delays and everything, he wasn't able. Got off the bus, Barbados Port, checked in, went through security, got on board 10 minutes or so. Very, very quick, nice and easy, security and all that. P&O do ask that you stop off at your muster station, so we went to ours, which was in the bottom of the atrium, and then went off to the cabin because we were that bit later. Everything was ready for us. So cruise cards were outside the door. We went in, dropped the bags off, and took a quick look at the room, which there will be more on that later. After that, we went off in search of a bar for a drink and the keys for some fish and chips, which fantastic fish and chips. If you ever get to go on the Iona or the Arvia, head to the Keys, get some fish and chips. You'll love it. We went to the fjords on Iona last year, so it's pretty similar to the Arvia, so we knew our way around. And we'd done a lot of YouTube research as well, so we knew what the ship had to offer. So we went for a bit of a walk around promenade deck, a couple of drinks again, and then back to the cabin for bedtime, because they're about 4 or 5 hours behind the UK and Barbados. And we had a early excursion booked for the next day, which was snorkeling with turtles. So subscribe and you'll see that on our next video. So just a quick tour of the cabin. It's a good amount of space. It's a squared cabin, so there was actually no one around us. There were no adjoining rooms, which was quite nice, because we could have the telly up as loud as we wanted then. Big TV, tea and coffee making facilities next to the sofa bed there, and decent sized bathroom. What we'll say, as a British cruise line, P&O install UK plugs, so you don't have to have adapters. There is, however, one European socket. The hairdryer and the kettle they supply use that socket, so you've still got space for that. There is a socket next to the bed as well. On one side, USBs and lights. Yeah, good. Now, the very interesting thing about the cabin is you'd think an inside cabin, no windows, pitch black when you go to sleep. Turn the lights off though, and there are LEDs everywhere in the room. You've got this one next to the sofa bed, which is really bright. You've got this one next to the door, and then this one on the thermostat next to the bathroom door, which I use primarily as a nightlight to get me around in the dark without waking my wife up. However, Vicky preferred to use this one, which is a kind of night light specifically designed for that. A little bit brighter, but there's switches next to the bed for that. They've got a little circle on them, so you can control that there as well.
So that's it. That's the travel day. Nothing overly exciting there. A bit of information. If you want some more info about flights and stuff like that, by all means, ask away in the comments. Next time we've got turtle snorkeling, or snorkeling with turtles on a catamaran in Barbados, and I get very sunburned. So if you want to see that, then by all means join us there. If not, then just look at the turtle snorkeling. But thank you very much for joining me. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you soon.